What's up, internet? It's the Jerry Crew. Yeah, we are the Jerry Crew. We post every week, or at least we try to. All of you guys watching either of the channels, Jerry Crew Comedy or the Hippie Catholic.
We're posting them on both.
Sorry to people who are subscribed to both. You guys are gonna be getting 2 notifications, assuming that you click the bell.
We've been through a lot. Listen, me and Cassidy, we are best of friends. We're tighter than bark on a tree. We decided, well, what else better to do with your best friend than go on a road trip together?
Road trip.
Me and Cassie, we're both dinguses.
We really are.
And there was nobody else on this trip to keep us from being dinguses. That's just how it goes.
So basically I was planning on making a vlog of Kate and I going to this wolf sanctuary, which we're still gonna go. We didn't get to because of weather.
Of a little bit of rain. I guess there was flooding, but get over it.
We basically drove all the way to this really tiny town in the middle of nowhere.
A bit creepy. It was nice,
but
it was a bit creepy.
It was like a canal town, which I mean, there's a lot of those in the Midwest.
This was like southern Indiana. We were bordering like Ohio.
And like Kentucky.
We could have literally driven to Kentucky and fucked one of our cousins.
So basically we're just driving across the country. There's like...
Across the country? We live in Illinois. We're driving to Indiana.
So it was like we were driving for a long time, and it was like all just cornfields, and I remember my dumb self is sitting there being like, where's the corn?
It's January!
It was just a weird trip. We stopped at this McDonald's.
Yeah! There were these people working the cashier. You know how you go up and you order your food. This whole entire trip was weird, okay? So, like, we're in a McDonald's in Indiana, and we didn't realize how different Illinois is from Indiana. I don't know if this happens anywhere else in our country. Somebody actually came up to me and Cass while we were just eating chicken nuggets and asked us how our meal was, as if we were in a 5-star joint. Ma'am, I don't know if you're lost, but this is McDonald's. Everyone in Indiana is very nice. We're used to living in Chicago, where everyone wants to kill you.
We're just sitting in this McDonald's, and this old man comes up to us.
He's just like, that boy's been watching you for a while.
And we turn around, and there's like this guy that
it was just like, we're just like, huh. He's just like, I'm gonna walk you 2 out to your car, and we're just like, thank you, Grandpa.
Wholesome thing. Honestly, wholesome old people are why I'm still around.
You would have killed yourself otherwise?
I'm not.
If old people didn't exist?
I'm not confirming or denying that. Where's the corn?
Basically, this trip was weird from start to finish. Anyway, on the way, Cass and I passed this hill. It wasn't that far from our destination.
Yeah.
Which was a lodge. So we're passing this hill. Cassie's just like, look, it's a castle! And she points, and I look at the top of the hill, and she's right. She's correct. It was a castle.
It was like on this like hill, and there was like a bunch of like forest around it. It felt like you entered like this weird kingdom. Like the energy
to get out and become a jester.
The energy just like shifted when we cause it, you know, the energy was kind of just like chill and whatever, like when we were like just driving like in the fields, but then it's like when we got over there by the castle and like in the hills and stuff, the energy just got...
have eyes.
The energy just got really weird. I can't describe it. It wasn't like...
And I felt it too, but we just didn't tell each other because we were just
Because how do you...
We're here to have a good time.
Yeah, we're just like...
Gucci. Please cut that out.
I didn't want to be like, oh, the energy is a little bit weird in these here parts. Like, I didn't want to be that person, even though I am that person. I just hate myself. But we both felt this weird energy.
I was about to, just for no reason,
literally turn
around because we passed it, and I was like, on the way, like, you want to visit it? Like, we had, like, reservations for a lodge where this lady was going to be there to get us into a room at 6, like I mentioned to her. So she was expecting me around that time. I'm not one to let people down. We wanted to stop anyway, even though we were like running, like we were going to be, we had to be there at 6 o'clock, and it was nearing that. You know, we were so compelled, both at the same time, to go and see this castle. Like,
I felt like enchanted by it. You know what I felt like? It was like Maurice like going to like the Beauty and the Beast castle, like in the beginning of like Beauty and the Beast. Anyway, and I thought that it was a church because there was a really big white cross that was like...
and
I'm
what
like, this
random person has the money to do that.
And I saw that there was like a path like going up the driveway, and I saw there was like a statue of the Virgin Mary like in front, and I was like, okay, like it must be a church. So it's like
It must be. It couldn't possibly be anything terrifying.
we'll get to that. You didn't click on this video for nothing. Basically, so it's like we get to our lodge, we go to a local bar.
It's very nice. First of all, we were the only ones in the lodge.
Yeah, we were.
We had the whole place to ourselves, which was not good because we kept going into every room.
And being tempted to steal the
basically,
caramels.
Because every room had caramels laid out on the bed, and we had access to all the rooms.
This is a big bed.
we just steal the caramels.
And so we just kept going in the rooms and just being like, we could steal that caramel.
Caramels.
Realistically, we would have stolen all of them, but the lady was nice. So we get into this lodge, actually, and then, like, it was kind of like a horror film type thing, but, I mean, maybe it was just because I was in that mindset. She basically is giving us a tour of the lodge, and she reaches, like, she just casually is just like, now this is the kitchen, this is the, area where you can, like, watch TV, and, you know, the, like, living area. This is, the basement, the door's locked, don't go in there. And I was just like, ma'am, what's in that basement?
It is indeed locked, like the landlady told us. What are you?
I don't know how to pick
You're being
locks.
that person from the scary movies that. So yeah, we had like this like lodge to ourselves. We stumble in, you know, intoxicated because we went over to a local
we went
bar.
a local bar across the street.
There's a long hallway.
Oh,
You know what we could use this hallway for, Cass?
What?
This.
We just wanted to sleep. We were tired. The driver, I understand why the driver would be tired from a road trip, but I was
Yeah.
the passenger and I
Uh-huh.
also was tired. I was so tired because it takes a lot of effort to pick really, really good Bone and Sickle episodes.
Yeah.
That is a great podcast. I'll put in the description box below.
Granted, correct. Yes, that was a very good podcast. I will give you
Bone
that.
and Sickle is great.
Anyway, we come into the lodge intoxicated. We both agreed to ourselves, like, hey, let's, like, go straight to bed. It was, like, 10 p.m. So we're laying in bed. My back is towards Cass, so, like, I just assume that she's going straight to bed. Then I turn around and she's, like, on her phone. I'm just like, I thought you were going to bed.
On a whim, I just was, like, looking up, because I love looking up churches and stuff, because, yeah, churches... they're great. Just I was looking up like local Catholic churches because I thought like, oh okay, the castle has to be one of those churches, and I kept thinking,
It wasn't.
like I thought that the castle would possibly be like a church to Saint Michael the Archangel because there's a famous church in France, like it's called Mont Saint Michel or
Michael!
Mount Saint Michael. Basically, I'm done. I'm done. I took 4 years of French for nothing. I looked up like Mount St. Michael Catholic churches in the area, and there was one, but it did not look like the castle.
But it was not that.
And I was like, okay, then what's the castle? Yeah, Kate's like, what you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm looking up stuff about the castle because I was so excited about this castle. It was completely on a whim because I was excited, because I was like completely down. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go to this building, to this castle. We have no idea what it is. We're just assuming it's a church because of the big cross. Kate was like, you know, just look up like castle in Metamora, Indiana. And I was
Yeah,
like,
because
okay.
that's where the town was.
And so we write in like Metamora Castle, and then some weird stuff popped up, and I was just reading this like, oh my god.
We were tired, like we were planning on going to bed, but instead we postponed that for like about 45 minutes to read this article.
The article is called Filming the End of the World in Metamora, Indiana.
Get a glass of warm milk, sit back because we're about to read you a bedtime story, which is this true article. So the guy that owns this castle monstrosity is a guy named Paul. 2 years ago, I met Paul in Metamora, Indiana. Paul has a castle on a hill that I thought would make a good story. We sat at a corner table in a small cafe. I had an omelet with lots of cheese. Paul ordered egg whites and dry wheat toast.
Already Paul sounds like a maniac, because who has dry wheat toast?
You're gonna get cotton mouth. He's in great shape for being in his late 60s. He walks 8 miles every day and holds the world record in race walking for 100 miles in 18 hours. I don't know why that's relevant.
Well, it's relevant because there's no way anyone's gonna be able to outrun him.
You're right, Cass. Where's my mind at? So Paul's like, so when you called yesterday, he said, I nearly passed out. Paul has been waiting for me. That alone that just sums that up. There's danger in all this, he warned during our first chat. Even in just talking with him, he asked me to keep an open mind. Logan, he said, I believe you've been sent by God to fulfill prophecy. Paul explained how he has sacred relic stones that open up a portal to let Jesus through. And this will start the end of the world. Then Paul tells Logan that it's his job to get the message out and warn everyone. The decision, he said, is up to me. For the next 2 hours, Paul covered 5 pages of notes. He told me about the Holy Cross, a 5-foot-tall cross made of mother of pearl. Wait, is that like straight up pearl? Like, it was big.
It was really big, and it was more than 5 feet tall.
I was gonna say
that was a typo. It was not 5 feet
bigger than us. He talked about the Holy Card sent by God. He told me about the Ark of the Final Covenant, Indian yogis, angels in Guatemala, Christ in Spain, and about Satan hiding in the corner of the room.
Wait, what?
He looked at me from across the table and said he had acquired some of the psychic abilities his father had. How when he was a teacher, he knew a couple of students were going to die just by looking them in the eye. And 2 weeks later, he snaps his fingers. Gone. After another glass of Coke, he paid for our meal. I was ready to get in my car and go 100 miles in any direction, but Paul offered to show me some stuff. Getting into his pickup, I realized I'm the perfect candidate for human sacrifice. Nobody knew I was there.
And that's the thing too, nobody knew that we were going to be going there
Nobody knew that
either.
we were going to be going there. Our parents were just like, oh, they're just going to the lodge and then this wolf habitat. Wrong. We were going to go to Paul's sanctum.
At his property, we parked between a statue of Mary and an outdoor baptismal fount, then walked toward a building resembling a hog shed. Paul flipped on the lights to reveal a museum of pre-Columbian art, voodoo dolls, and Native American art. There's a Mayan death rattle, shrunken heads, and glass cases full of skulls. I'm going to leave you alone with this. Paul backed out of the room.
Oh yeah! I'm gonna leave you alone with this. Backs out of the room. It's just like, thanks.
In my head, I pictured Paul coming back in a black robe. I
would too,
I snapped pictures as if the only thing someone might find of me would be my camera. The smell in the room became stronger. Oh my god, he's gassing the room. When he returned, I told him I needed to go. I had no intention of ever calling Paul again. Apparently, Logan made a short film or a film about the Metamora Castle, and we're going to react to the trailer. Okay, so we're gonna watch the trailer now.
Hey Logan, this is Paul. I thought I'd better let you know I'm getting ready to do something drastic, and I don't know if it's going to bad, but get a chance. You know, it's not a big rush, no big deal. It's going to be done. I turned to the cross and stones and some other things, but you know, get a chance, give me a call.
I don't know where he got it.
I have literal
but
tears.
I have a feeling, like a gut feeling, that he didn't buy those off the internet.
Maybe you want to know these things, so yeah, stay in touch. Bye.
Okay, ready? Okay. Welcome, pilgrims.
What did you just call me? A pilgrim?
Because pilgrims are people that go to holy places, Kate. They travel to go to a holy place, like how we were gonna travel to the castle. Let's keep going.
Since the year 2000, when this beautiful cross found its way here,
Just found its way there.
a series of supernatural events have happened and continues to happen involving this cross and its location. Also hidden in the area with supernatural powers is the Ark of the Final Covenant. It houses several sacred artifacts and 2 holy stones given by an angel at Lake Atitlan in Guatemala in 1982. Its contents will be instrumental in the end times and the return of Christ. Soon, when told to do so, the ark will be opened, the contents brought out, and the holy stones exposed, causing the cosmic wheels to turn, opening the portal to heaven and ushering in the second coming of Christ. It was man who crucified Christ, thus closing the heavenly portal, and it must be man who opens the portal.
I love how there's just a casual skull behind him. Where does he get all this stuff?
I don't know what that has to do with Jesus H. Christ.
Prayer is the most powerful of all sacramentals for protection. With prayer, a pilgrim needs the holy card, a divine photo of the cross received from heaven in 2001.
Wait, so he's saying that like the photo like just dropped from heaven in 2001. It's not like you need a printer.
By all means, take a card and use it as a sacramento in your daily devotion. It will come alive and give you the needed protection. Be sure to have the holy card stamped in the museum with a sacred Greek text. Thank you for your consideration. Keeper of the Cross and Stones, Indiana Joe.
If any of you guys can speak Greek or like know how to read Greek, please let me know what the inscription is. What is this man trying to spread out to everybody? I'd like to know.
You have one unheard message.
Hey, Logan, I just sitting here thinking, I got a new line for you that you might be able to use in your document, your taping. Read all about it. Read all about it. The Ark of the Final Covenant, located in Metamore, Indiana. Read all about it.
Read all about it. We were gung-ho that we were gonna go
Right.
to this castle.
And stuff kept happening, like the fact that we weren't able to see the wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously our second choice would be to visit that castle.
So I remember literally we passed it and you're like, there's a cross, it has to be good.
I guess just because there's a cross there doesn't always mean that it's
Safe.
good. Me and Cassidy really wanted to book it. We drove to the wolves early in the morning. You know, we got breakfast and you know, Cassidy was feeling anxious because her drawer was I was asleep. Her drawer was closed. We never opened any of the drawers in our room. And she went to the bathroom and I was out, but she came back and apparently the drawer to her side table was open, and then she started listening to music to calm herself down, and all that happened was like a bunch of static. She told me that and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, I was like, we gotta leave.
I wanted to leave too. I just didn't bring it up to her because I was just like, well, I want to give Cassidy, you know, a nice time. At the same time, she was like thinking that about me, so we both wanted to leave, but like I didn't want to bring it up to the other person. She eventually did it because she was just like, yeah, I'm really anxious. And then we went.
We drove past it, and it's like, I have footage of us driving past it to prove that we were over there. Here it is. So this is just to prove that, you know, we've been here. We wanted to just go on this man's property, because we thought, you know,
Yeah, like
this castle, you know.
castle on the top of the hill. Nothing wrong here. One of those shrines that you see in like the video games with a bunch of like human skulls in it.
Yeah, that's Mount Metamora. It just was weird. All of it was weird. The entire trip was weird.
It's our first road trip that we've ever taken together.
If you like what you saw, please click like and subscribe.
Subscribe to see more of whatever the heck this was.
Bye.
Bye.